Welcome back to the next part of our lecture series, Asynchronous Dialogue, taking student questions and building some raw lecture out of those questions. So we're grateful and appreciative of students for putting in that time and labor and being honest, being willing to put it on the page and share it with others and get rewarded for it, right? We get points for these things. That's fantastic. Let me jump to a couple of questions from Tyler. Start with the questions from the Media and Society. He's reflecting on chapters 1 and 2, it looks like. And I think it's going to get exciting here. Tyler writes, as we all know, more and more statistics keep coming out about depression and stress among those who are on social media more. So we're talking about a link between social media usage and an increase in depression. What do you think we could do as a nation to help this, or are we too far past the point of return? And as in reference to a part of chapter 1, I'm not sure the page. And let's kind of talk with what we can assume, right? And assuming is always can be a negative practice, but we'll go with some general assumptions. General assumption 1, that no one solution is going to help everyone, and even a plural number of solutions cannot help some people or a low number of people or some segment of the population, right? So we these are working assumptions. It's kind of like, this is law of statistics, right? All right, so bell curve. We know what the bell curve is. Bell curve is used in statistics it's essentially an explanation of how data works and how humans have certain elements that average out, but we also have these what we call outliers. So if the bell curve is here, you have these invisible lines running here and here, and the low point in the bell curve is here. It's here, right? And with the bell in the center, and these areas are referred to as outliers, right? It's usually so it's the lowest number of people, but they may have like hyper specific and different responses to things, right? To stimuli or to the norm, right? Norm as in normative, as the normative effect. And we simply pull that term out of averaging. And so, there are things we can do, right? Here's one of those kind of catchy little additives. One of the things we could implement is more digital cleanses, right? These are these intentional breaks where we almost go like, it's almost like fasting from media. And people report really feeling positive and getting more energized when they do these little digital cleanses. And I think that's a healthy habit. I think that's a healthy routine. I think it's especially significant with young people, with children. So for those of you that are parents, that could be excellent exercise. Kids may not like it very much, but is it good for them? Could be healthy for the family? Yeah, absolutely. Are there times where we almost need some assistance from media in one form or another? Yes. That's a part of the society that we've co-created together. That's where we're at. That's where we live. I think limiting time uses is important. What is the iPhone came out with a couple of years ago? The little ratios letting you know what your weekly habits are like, telling you how much time you're spending on entertainment versus business versus social media and so on. Games or whatever. That's a step. That's a passive step, in the right kind of direction. Kind of like on the other end of the scale, the Fitbit, right? The app telling us how much we've moved. So if you get the Apple Watch and it's got the little rings on it, and you've had this many steps, this much we could actually count as exercise versus that's just standing up, right? So some people out there are both trying to monetize and create a culture where technology helps us, but we can assume that the dominant majority is just in it for profit or for business or whatever, right? For usage, for clicks and likes and time spent. That's the tricky business, right? This is where Facebook keeps finding itself at in Washington D.C. testifying before Congress or Supreme Court or whatever, because they're such an influential corporation. They're influencing billions of people. No entity in human history has had that kind of touchstone immediate imprint on it's not just society. It's like on a multicultural perspective, the way that a Google, right, has. And let's not forget, right, Facebook is owned by Google, right?